Hi everyone, my name is Acacia Borboom and I am VP of Business Development here at our organization. I'm so happy and so excited to speak on behalf of the internal task force today, as I think it is our duty to represent our employees at their best interest and keeping our integrative, employee-centric model alive. So how can we do that? Well, implement some structure. Well, I have just the reason, and that'll be a project management system with a little bit more hierarchical structure involved. So, in this presentation today, I'll be going over some of the ways that we can implement this structure in our organization. I'll be discussing some of the key features of project management systems according to Business News Daily. I'll be speaking on behalf of my experience with them as a former manager at After Effects, the company I worked for 2 years ago. And I'll also be using some research by Boston Consulting Groups regarding project management systems and hierarchical business structures. Lastly, I'll be using some of my own experience with a hybrid model organization and how we can employ that in our hybrid organization, as some people work from home and some people work here. So without further ado, let's get into it. What are project management systems? Well, project management systems are essentially shared workflows. They're a space that all employees can work on projects simultaneously or one step at a time, depending on how the manager wants to assign these tasks. So the great thing about these systems is that the director or the manager of the department have direct control over how they want the tasks to be assigned, when they want them finished, and how they want to be sent to the next person. So with a project management system, it's a shared workflow that can be flexible dependent on how the manager wants to approach it. It's also a great way to have a bird's eye view of the organization as a whole. And according to Harvard Business Review, project management systems allow for employees to interact simultaneously with their teammates. And it's a great way to organize and manage complex projects. As a former manager at my last organization, I found it incredibly useful to assess the work of the entire department within a single workflow, and you could also get instant feedback as needed. According to research conducted by Business News Daily, project management tools are helping for keeping everyone dedicated to their individual department while also being able to assess other departments and other systems, especially if they relate to their own. Now, there are times where rigid hierarchies are needed, as this is a central component of bureaucracies. According to Harvard Business Review, a sociological model of bureaucracies was developed during the Industrial Revolution. Now, there's no coincidence that bureaucracy is an essential component, especially to large businesses. And as our organization continues to grow, it's essential that we keep this in mind. Now, with project management systems, it'll be great to have a shared workflow to keep everyone integrated, have everyone's voice matter, everyone be able to see the organization as a whole and not feel like they're being gatekept. But it's also a great way to implement a little more structure, especially on the manager's behalf. So, going into it, there are some potential drawbacks of project management systems in the sense that some people might take a little bit of getting used to go on to a more rigid structure. Now, this is natural anytime you're implementing a new idea to an organization. And the best thing that we can do, according to Boston Consulting Group, is to implement the project management system little at a time. That means we start with one department of the organization and we move our way gradually larger and larger into the rest of the organization until we have a better sense of how we want to approach the project management systems and how we want our managers to direct them. So, with all that being said, I think that to successfully implement a new communication system and increase structure within our organization, a project management system is essential. It'll give us instant feedback and be able to stay on top of departmental progress. So, we must focus on implementing this system sooner than later and starting it in one department and gradually growing. Now, I hope that you all can see that this will be a great way to keep our mission and values alive with our employee-centric model and having everyone's voices being heard while still promoting more growth within our organization and more structure as well. It was a great honor to represent this organization with a new policy proposal, and I really look forward to collaborating with everyone on finding the perfect approach and something that fits our shared mission and values. Thank you so much for listening.